Well, I'm sitting out here by the ball field, and it's a beautiful day. You never know that the world is in crisis. I was thinking about Psalms chapter number 23. We've been through that before, but it just keeps coming to mind. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. Out here, everything seems so serene. The breeze is blowing. Mosquito hawks are flying around and birds are singing. Gorgeous day. It's easy in these places to say, I shall not want. If I were a sheep, I could lay down out here and there's an abundance of food. There is still water just over by the trees. And I could say, I shall not want. But God doesn't draw a line in the psalm at Psalms 4 and discontinue being the Lord my shepherd. If the Lord is my shepherd in the green pastures and beside the still waters, I can assure you he's my shepherd when I'm going through the valley of the shadow of death. And I just want to remind us of that today. A lot of hurting hearts, a lot of people who are concerned, and some who are anxious, who are worried. Let me tell you, he's the Lord my shepherd on the beautiful days like this, and when storms are brewing, and when storms are blowing. In the midst of the valley of the shadow of death, I don't need to fear evil. Why? Because he's with me and he's with you. Wherever we are, wherever we go, he is there. And when you come to verse 4 in that psalm, he's there with his provision, just like he is in the first 3 verses. Green pastures, it's easy to see supply and wonderful days. We can look back on times that were much easier than this. There wasn't the uncertainty about tomorrow. But he's still the shepherd right here where we are in the midst of this crisis. And I want you to just join me in just resting in that, resting in the truth. He makes me lie down in green pastures. But let me tell you, he also prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. And right now we're being faced with a tremendous enemy. It's invisible. It's not a person. It's a virus. And the battle that's going on is with that virus, but is also a battle within. As we've noted before, sometimes the enemy is not the problem. That is the external circumstance. It's the inner me. And God says to us in the midst of this valley, he says, I want you to sit down right here. I'm going to spread a table. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to fellowship with you. I don't know what this is going to look like 20 days from now, 20 years from now. But I know this, that the God who is with me yesterday and last year and the year before that is with us now. He is Emmanuel. He's the Lord. He's God with us, the Lord of glory who is with us. And so I want to just encourage you today just to believe that. Go through that psalm. Look at Psalm 23. Enjoy the first 3 verses, but then carry verse 1 over into verses 4 and following. Make sure that becomes a faith issue for you, because his rod and his staff, they comfort me. He's there providing. He anoints us, he enables us, he empowers us. So let me just encourage you today. Again, I've used that word several times. I've been talking to some people who are discouraged. They're scared. And I just want to reassure you, God didn't get surprised by all of this. He knew this was coming. And he has already made provision for you and I. If I live, I win. If I die, I win. For me to live is Christ, to die is vain. A gain. Wow, it's vain to worry about all that. So, thanks for joining me here in these few moments. And I hope that you find some green pastures and some still waters. But I also hope that right there, wherever you are, in whatever circumstance you find yourself in, that you just learn to tap into the wonderful blessings of God, his presence, his provisions, and his promises. You take care of myself. Love you bunches. God bless.